All right, Chukwudekele Ugbaja is right here, and I can see clearly now that you are here.
And I look very smart.
Chukwudi, good morning.
Boyish.
You know, this set sips. I mean, it does something. It's doing a lot of magic this morning. Can't you see?
Oh, the set.
Yes, the ambience.
I'm sure I used it before you, so I should tell you about the set. You know,
just acknowledge.
It's because she's new. That's why.
She's new.
I'm new.
She's new.
I mean, on this set. Yes.
But the set seems to blend with our clothes better than us. No, ladies have a way with the things.
Let's start. let's take it off. Let's take it off. Let's start with Leadership newspaper, and well, quite a busy front page. I like to start with the lead story. Again, dwelling on politics. 2027, we won't endorse any presidential candidate. That's Arewa leaders. It's on page 4. And then, of course, you see other story, just a little below the nameplate. Nigeria has cleared final barriers to African Continental Free Trade Area. According to Minister, you need to read this paper to find out details of which minister is this. This is on page 7. And of course, you must know that when it comes to free trade area discussions, it's either, of course, the Minister of Trade, Industry, or, of course, Foreign Minister. But in this case, it's the Minister of Trade. Resident doctors pick holes in federal government claim, insist on January 12th strike. That's on page 16. Defection, not betrayal. Shekarau defends Governor Yusuf, faults Kwankwaso's stance. And Tinubu appoints first female Director General of the Nigerian Law School. It's on page 7. Nigeria to clash with Algeria in AFCON quarterfinal match. That's the clash of the Titans. That's what that is called. Let's also look at the other newspaper. I think I have
NG.
Yes, Business NG. And the Business NG is looking at the business perspective, and it says over 93% of Nigeria's cash circulates outside the banks. That's according to CBN. And then PricewaterhouseCoopers says, that's PwC, says once 141 million Nigerians may fall into poverty in 2026. The next Jigawa governor, Badaru, in talks to join ADC amid political rift soars. And POS operators in CAC registration row. Let's look other stories. Dangote refinery denies shutdown rumors, confirms 50 million liters daily petrol supply. Dangote refinery denies shutdown rumors, confirms 50 million liters daily petrol supply. And of course, there are other political stories there. I think that's all that the Business NG is reporting on its front page. Demola, you've got other stories.
Okay, I have the Nation newspaper with me, and just above that nameplate, Shekarau backs Abba Yusuf against Kwankwaso. Details on page 5. Discos earned 570,225 billion naira by end of the third quarter of 2025. Details of that story can be found on page 8. Niger to reopen schools in phases from Monday. Police cleric under probe over alleged plan to attack Wike. Then obedient movement. Obi won't go for anything less than presidential ticket. Details of that story can be found on page 4. Support base swells for Tinubu in Rivers. Elders Council, Dokubo Asari join forces with Wike. Military feat in Venezuela amazing, says Trump. Details of those stories can be found on page 2. Students rally support for tax laws. Shelf protest plan. tax reforms won't affect tuition in universities. Details of that story can be found on page 2. And 1 million to get federal government's digital skills training. And Jonathan still active in PDP. Details of that story on page 4. Shooks.
Yeah, I just went to the Vanguard and looked up where former state governor, that's Kano, Ibrahim Shekarau, is telling Kwakwanso that it would not amount to betrayal if the current governor defects to APC, just as he, Kwakwanso, did when he went from, which party is he mentioning now? From the party he was in that time, I think that was PDP, to another one. So what he's trying to do here is to cite precedent. You understand? You know, politicians, when they do the things they do, they should know that the human mind has the ability to recall events. Anyway, as I always say here, there is no art to read character from the face of a politician. I know that Shakespeare actually talks about generally there's no art to read character from the face. But in the case of the politician, it becomes a more intricate and tedious assignment to try to understand what is happening behind, you know, whatever stare he gives you. We can only wish them luck, but it's quite interesting that the governor of Kano State is thinking about leaving the new Nigerian People's Party. You know, I thought they were going to expand their base and maybe capture more states, maybe more in the north, and maybe get 1 or 2 in the south.
This is the time for a lot of alignments going on.
I know.
Parties, so.
I know, but you know, as journalists, we always say that.
I believe he just didn't want to stand alone.
No, but he did say he said with the condition. He said if he would leave his party, it would be either to become a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate in another party. So that was a caveat.
Yes,
yes. It now depends on which party would be willing, to hand the presidential ticket or VP ticket over to him. And if that doesn't happen, obviously it won't happen if,
Exactly.
APC.
And when such a statement is made, we as journalists will say, is the personal interest overlaying that of party interest, where ideology should be the decider of whatever you do.
But that is what it has become.
But that's what it has become, and it's unfortunate, in Africa particularly. Because just like, there are some parties in the Green Party, there's a Green Party which you hardly get to hear about. But all you hear is either Democratic Party or Republican Party or Conservative Party or the Labour Party. But the other parties exist. And the people are not crossing to the big ones because they are there because they believe in something.
Ideology.
When are we going to have that kind of play here?
I rarely gloss over political matters these days until until the storm settles and we know who is who.
I think it's a safer path to walk.
For now, what they are doing, they are playing coupon. Palm 3 from 4 equals 45 lines.
Politics where the water government nine, they come palm 3 from 4, clear they send you.
Anyway, let's look at the AFCTA agreement. I think that should interest a lot of Nigerian businessmen.
Is it a free trade thing?
Yes, because there's been we've had lots of talks about the potential for Nigeria, whether we had the agricultural strength, or the demographic. I mean, should I say agricultural advantage, to play in that area. But the minister is saying that the hurdle has been lifted. He said the first final barriers for Nigerian businessmen to compete, favorably in this market has been cleared. But I mean, it's not stated here. So yes. I think this is something that we really need to talk about.
Yes. I can only hope that it goes beyond the rhetorics we have been listening to, because the African Free Trade thing has always been there. You don't know how much African nations are truly, sincerely showing interest in something that will positively drive development on the continent. The problem you have when you talk about African things is that everyone doesn't seem to be on board, even though everyone is aping the issue as if without it they won't go to sleep tonight. So let's pray that there will be more sincerity. And
is it the same personal interest that we are talking about? Every country has its own
we have to have a cohesive, for the
that
continent to grow, we have to have a cohesive movement towards that which indeed would grow the continent.
I think this is something that we will take up. It's a developing story. We'll actually, I'm sure my producer is listening. It's something that we'll need to discuss.
Exactly. With the experts, so that they can tell us more about that.
Okay, there is this Niger to reopen schools and faces from Monday. About the.
First of all, it tells you that calm is returning.
Yeah.
And it is good news for our children, it's good news for parents, it's good news for anybody who likes good things. What happened in Niger in the past 3 months particularly was really disheartening. So if they are thinking about phased reopening of schools, it means that they are citing coming gradually. You now appeal to the security forces to ensure that somebody does not throw a spanner in the works by suddenly coming to upset the apple cart, to give the impression that they are still around and could always flex their muscles anytime they want, because that does not give courage to those who want to brace up to the situation and do what they're supposed to do in daytime so that they can sleep peacefully
and another thing
at night.
Is that, some experts have, advised government to move some of those schools that are in the vulnerable, communities to safer, places to protect, the safety of the children.
Yeah, I was listening to a Fagbemi, it's not aware, a Fagbemi, that's his name, a security expert, this morning on a TV station, and he said so many things that struck me. Nigeria has people, a pure egghead. Of course, he had them, he stinted the military and all that. He said that what this country actually needs is a situation where you have a cohesive architecture where every layer of security links itself to the other one. I think he trailed off when he was discussing state police. He said the problem people have with state police is that they're just taking it and situating it there as if it has no umbilical cord.
Okay, Chukwudi, before we go, I
sorry.
just want us to talk about this student rally support for tax laws. I think there is more awareness now. You understand?
Yes.
Earlier on, they were planning for a protest, but now
Ayodele has been doing a lot of work.
Yes.
Let's give it to him.
I won't let you go without talking about the first Director General.
I need to land this.
Yes.
For the students to suddenly go full circle, turn around, it means that some enlightening has happened. He said, for instance, nobody's taking your money from the bank.
No.
At the end of the year, you give account of all and you pay your tax. That is clearing the air.
Do you know my
on the
mom
matter.
called me and said, Demola, they said they are going to be removing my money. I said, no.
Oh my God.
Demola and Chukwudi, I'm not happy with both of you. Chukwudi, you can go.
You need to go and console Demola's mom.
Whether you like it or not, a woman has become the first Director General of the Nigerian Law School.
We've heard you, great woman.
Women will continue to push ahead, and one day, maybe just one day, our dream of becoming the president.
Activist Claire.
Thank you, Claire. We'll take a break now. When we come back, our discussion of the fire situation will kickstart. Stay with us.